बताएं क्यों तुझको चाहें यारा बता ना पाए बातें दिलों की देखो जो बाकी आंखें तुझे समझाएं तू जाने ना
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello. Good morning everyone. My name is Abdul. In this video, I'd like to submit my assignment from the subject sosiolinguistics in semester 3 English study program Awasiyah University Medan. So in this video, I'd like to talk in simple way and subjective according to my perspective what I have understood before about the linguistic or sociolinguistics subject. And in this video, I'd like to talk three main points. First, the definition of language. Second, the variation of language. And number three, I'd like to talk about dialect. Well, to begin, first of all, I'd like to discuss about what is language. As we know, that language in simple way is a tool for communication. Can be between two people or one group. So, actually language, in further explication about the definition of language means a set of rules. So, technically language has rules. Can be alphabetically, can be grammatically, and can be phonologically. So it's set of rules, okay, from various minds. So language was born from the agreement of a group or more than one person. So one person can make their own language. There have to be an agreement between one group or more than two groups of people. For what? For creating interaction and communication between them. So language is purposed to make like tool of communication. And language can be delivered verbally or non-verbally. For example, language can be spoken, can be written, even without sounds, and without written like sign language, only using gesture or mimic from your body language. So, number two, it's about variation of language. What is variation of language? Variation of language is the characteristics of language. It depends on various things. It can be from geographically, it can be from social context, it can be from gender, and a lot of aspects which affecting language variations, and can be divided into many specific parts. Like we have studied before, the language varieties can consist of standard language, vernacular language, Creole, lingua franca, etc. And sometimes from the subject perspective, it can be divided into some parts like dialect or maybe dialect, chronolect, and also register, and etc. So language variation, we can say that there are more one way to speak one thing. You can see language variation into many aspects. One of our major topic today is talking about dialect. Dialect is a part of language variations. So what is a dialect? Dialects, it's a way of speaking of the person depending on the regional or area from the speaker. Talking about dialect, many people still confused about the terminology or the definition of dialect. Well, dialect is a form of variation of language according to the regional background or subject. So dialect normally can be identified from the differences in way of speaking, but still mutual intelligible. I mean, dialect, they still in one language, just different maybe in morphology or also pronunciation and also even syntax and grammar. But for many people still confused about the differences between dialect and accent. Well, if we talk about the accents only affected by the phonologically. So they make sounds and different sounds. It's just a way of the pronunciation. But dialects, it's more complex than only about pronunciation. Sometimes you will find different vocabularies, even different micro aspects of language, like syntax, grammar, or even the semantic and translation of the language. For example, the dialect we can find in our nearest place, like in North Sumatra, we have Batak people. Batak language can divide it into some dialects. In the southern part, we call it Mandailing language. The language is still one family with Batak, but they have different vocabularies and even sometimes semantic and grammatical. In southern part of Batak area in Mandailing, the language will be affected by Minangkabau language. Some vocabularies already immersed with the language. And also language in Lake Toba, it's different with the language in the north part of Lake Toba, like Karongis language or Fak language. So that is a small example of dialect. In the bigger example, we can see from Malay language. If we talk about the Malay language, they have 35 dialects in Southeast Asia. We can differ from Malaysian language and Malay Delhi in Medan. So they have different vocabularies, they have different dialects, they have different way of speaking. And also Malay in South Sumatra and Malay in the western part of Sumatra, they have different way of speaking. Sometimes even they are in the same language, but different dialect, they cannot understand each other. So in international context, I can give the example of dialects in British English. In British English, they have different dialects, like English from Scottish and English from maybe Irish or people from Ireland. And also in American English, also we can find a lot of dialects from that language. So we can see many people can speak English very different in West Virginia area, New Yorkers, and also South area of United States. So dialects normally affected by geographical aspect and also cultural aspect. They have different regions. That's all maybe explanation about dialects, language, and also variation of language today. Hope this explanation is useful for you. And thank you for watching. See you and bye-bye.